going back probably 3 years. As many of you know, we were turned down last year. We came close. We were amongst the finalists, but were not selected. But this year, we were awarded $30 million from HUD to finish the Encore project. This administration has been very, very helpful to this city. I mean, if you think about it, over the last 4 years, and more specifically the last year and a half, they have funded the Crosstown Connector. They have funded the completion of the Riverwalk and are now funding the completion of the Encore project. Just in the last year and a half, that's upwards of $40 million. I mean, investment in our community that will produce jobs, that will change lives, and that will change neighborhoods. And I could not be more appreciative of the president and more appreciative of the work that went into this, largely Congresswoman Castor, the staff here at the City of Tampa, who partners with the Housing Authority. We're partnering on the 2 buildings that have just broken ground. This will be the last building in the project of a housing nature. And a lot of people worked very hard on it, and to know that all this hard work paid off really is not only a great holiday present, but it's an amazing legacy for the folks that lived in Central Park Village. I mean, it is an area that I knew well. I chased many a drug dealer through there as I was riding with TPD. It was deplorable. And the children that lived in there deserved a better life, and the residents that lived there deserved a better life. And thanks to this administration, we're going to get them that better life. But it's not just about the housing. It's not just about the bricks and mortar. This is a holistic approach. It involves social services, and it involves job training. It involves the rehabilitation of Perry Harvey Park, which will provide a great linkage into downtown Tampa. The city is partnering on that. We've already started down the path of designing the plans. But equally as important, it will connect Ybor City to downtown. And as all of you know, I've spent the last year and a half figuring out how we connect our neighborhoods, particularly around the urban core. I mean, those linkages between Ybor City and downtown and Channelside and Tampa Heights and crossing the river to North Hyde Park and to the west bank of the river are awfully important. That was part of the Envision project. That was part of the Nebraska Rail Corridor project that's going on. That was part of the original urban land use study that came in the first 3 months that we were here, that we impaneled. So it's all about connecting the dots and connecting neighborhoods. And the completion of this will provide a complete connection between Ybor City, downtown, Channelside, and Tampa Heights. It is a very, very important day today for this community and for the revitalization of our urban core. And Congresswoman Castor did yeoman's work on this. I mean, she was our champion in Washington. Our lobbying team of Holland and Knight, I have spent over the last year and a half days up there with them on Riverwalk and on this particular project, and they have been as helpful and as professional as any group could be. So I'm excited. It's a good day. I just got back from DC yesterday. Had a chance to talk with the president, and he's excited about this future of this community as well. He's appreciative that Florida went his way. Very appreciative that Tampa went his way. He asked whether or not we were going to be able to count the votes quicker, and I said we're working on that, Mr. President. But it's a good day. It is a very good day for us and for the people who are returning to Central Park Village, who will have a better life.
Did you talk to him about that?
No, I didn't talk to him about this. No, I didn't. Yeah, we were in a meeting about a whole other subject, so I didn't get a chance to. I did talk to some of his staff today to make sure that they knew how much I appreciated it.
There's some other public housing places that are set to be demolished and have people relocated. North Boulevard Homes, for example, Robles. Will you be making some of these units available to some of those people when that happens?
Oh, I hope so. I mean, the Housing Authority handles the relocation, but I would imagine that as part of this, now that we know that the funding is in place for the completion of the remaining 3 buildings, that whoever is on the list that was either dislocated from the original Central Park Village or potentially from the relocation of residents from North Boulevard Homes, that will make, if there's availability, that will make that transition so much easier, because the folks in North Boulevard Homes who live, again, in some fairly deplorable conditions will have an opportunity to not to go out to the marketplace with a Section 8 voucher, but potentially move right into some new buildings, particularly the seniors. Because the initial buildings are senior buildings. And those are the most vulnerable of that population. Those are the ones that, for whom the disruption is the most traumatic. To the extent that you can ease that quicker, is better for everyone concerned.
What do you think made the difference from last year to this year?
I think a couple things, Rick. I think we put together a better proposal. I think we now have better relationships up there than we've had before, personal relationships. I've spent a lot of time up there working on this issue and establishing relationships with the decision makers at HUD. I think the proposal that we put together and the presentation that we made when the HUD selection committee was here was better. It was more well-rounded. It involved more community partners. It was more holistic. It wasn't just the development component of it. It was about the social services and wrapping the job training into it. So I think we learned from not winning the first time and put together a much better proposal the second time, just like we did it with the Riverwalk. I mean, very same scenario.
Encore was already on track. How does this change things?
Oh, dramatically. It was on track, but it wasn't funded. And therein lies the big difference. You know, the plans were in place. The infrastructure had already been constructed. The pads were there. But the funding wasn't in place to do the bricks and mortar construction. We just cut ground yesterday, or cut a ribbon on the yellow. The other two have been financed. The financing is complete. They are moving forward. The last remaining piece was the Tremont, which is this one. That will finish the residential side of things. Hopefully we'll see additional commercial development will take place. Maybe some market rate housing would go there as well. But this, we would have been hard pressed to find a way to finish this without this funding from HUD.